In this video, we'll be hunting 2 boxes of pennies, as well as see if we make some progress to the Penny Hunt and Fill album. Of course, we'll be looking for any wheat scents from 1958 or older. Also be looking for any proofs, foreigns, heirs or varieties, or any other cool things we can find, as well as setting aside any copper we get, seeing how much we can fill up the copper jar. We do have 1 ender per box, which is definitely a good sign. Box number 2, we have a Canadian ender, but is an older Canadian right there in the corner. We have a 1963, which is going to be a young head. Definitely a cool ender. Haven't seen one of those in a while. And in the first box we're going to hunt, we do have a wheat scent ender. 1956 Denver, obverse facing, in pretty good shape. So it's definitely a good sign for both boxes. So let's start the hunt on penny box number 1. And I'll bring you in when we have our first find. Just opened roll number 6. We're going to have our first couple of finds for a box in this roll. See the edge of our first wheat scent right there besides the ender, and our first Canadian as well, which we'll just pull aside since I already have it here. Not going to be too old. It's just a 1965, first year after the young head design. Pull out the wheat scent now, and it looks like it could be a little bit of an older strike. We'll have to see, and it's going to be just a 1941 San Francisco. We'll take it. Just opened roll 11, which is that wheat scent ender. Don't see anything else in the roll yet, but we do have the ender here. Pretty nice, 1956 out of Denver. That's wheat scent number 2. Just opened roll 14, flattened out the roll, and I see the edge of wheat scent number 3 right in the back, right here. A bit corroded, but this time we're going to have 1946 out of Denver. Next roll, I just uncovered another wheat scent, so this is going to be the 4th one of the box. It's another one from the 40s. 1944 out of San Francisco. Roll 19. We're going to have another wheat scent in this roll. This is going to be wheat scent number 5 for the box. See the edge of it right there. And 5th wheat scent of the hunt is going to be 1940 out of Denver in pretty good shape. Just opened roll 21. I see the edge of wheat scent number 6. This one is in the front half of the roll. This one right here. And the wheat scent's going to be 1955 from Denver. Roll 30. I just uncovered the 7th wheat scent for the box. Just another one from the 50s, and it's pretty corroded, but we'll still take it. It's 1955 Denver. Roll 37. Just opened the roll, and I see the edge of another wheat scent, just a few coins in. This is going to be the 8th wheat scent of the box. Only need 2 more to get double digits, which is what I'm hoping for. And this one's going to be 1956 from Denver. Same roll. There's another wheat scent later in the roll. It is the first pre-40s wheat scent of the hunt, which is exciting. It's not one we need for the album. It does have corrosion on it, but still is from the 30s. 1937 out of Philly. Not in the best shape, as I said, with some corrosion, but it's wheat scent number 9 and our first from the 30s, which is awesome. Just open roll 42. I see the edge of another wheat scent, which means this is the 10th one of the box, which means you got double digits, and I'll definitely take that in any box any day. Wheat scent is right here, and it is 1953 from Denver. Just open roll 48. We're going to have a couple more finds in this roll. We're going to have another wheat scent, which is right there, and a Canadian as well, which I'll pull out since I already have it here. Canadian's going to be a 1978. Already gotten one of those. Wheat scent edge is right here. This is wheat scent number 11, and it's going to be 1941 out of Denver. Box number 1 has been hunted, and it was definitely a great box. We broke double-digit wheat scents, and we ended up with 11 for the box, which is awesome. All common dates from the 40s and 50s, including one from the 30s. 1937 out of Philly. Does have some corrosion on it, not in the best shape, but always good to see a wheat scent from the 30s. Also 5 Canadians as well, all just common modern ones. And also a really nice 1960 D Smollett, which I think could upgrade the album. So definitely a good first box to start off the hunt. So we're going to move on to box number 2 with the young head Canadian ender in roll 10. And I'll bring you in on the first find of this box. Roll 2 is going to give us the first wheat scent of the second box. Did miss it when I opened the roll because it has a lot of gunk around the edge, but still going to get the first wheat scent of the second box, and it's going to be 1947 from Philly. Roll number 4, just opened the roll. I see the edge of another wheat scent, so we already have 2 wheat scents and 4 rolls in the second box, which is a great start. It's only a couple coins in. Pretty nice reverse, probably in the 50s. And it is a 1957 from Denver. Just open the next roll. We're going to have another wheat cent, so we're already up to 3 wheat cents in the first 5 rolls of this box, which is an excellent start. Let's hope this box can keep up like this. So on the edge of this one right here. This time we're going to have 1946 from Denver. Roll 10 was our ender for the second box, which was that 1963 Canadian. Don't see anything else in the roll. But here it is, and this is the oldest Canadian from the hunt, and the first young head. Definitely a good find and a good sign for the box. Roll 14, and I just uncovered wheat cent number 4, and this is a good one. Didn't even think it was going to be a wheat cent since it's so nice. I uncovered it and I saw the date. We have a 1951 Denver in absolutely incredible condition. Looks to be fully red on the front. And on the back as well, has a little bit of discoloration there, but besides that, really nice BU red wheat cent, and it's a 51, not like a 58 or something. I looked in the album when I saw it. The one we have is definitely not going to be as nice, so it's definitely going to upgrade the album. Super excited to find that. An absolutely beautiful wheat cent. Haven't seen one of those in a while. That is an incredible find. Roll 19. Just opened the roll, and I see the edge of another wheat cent, which is going to make 5 for the box. Definitely off to a good start, especially with that BU one we just got. This one's in pretty nice shape, although it's brown. It's a 1956 from Denver. Next roll, we're going to have wheat cent number 6, so 2 rolls in a row with a wheat cent. It's good to see. This one I see the edge of right here. It looks like it has some corrosion on it, and it does. Hopefully that means a little bit older, but who knows. And it's just going to be another 1946 Denver. Roll 25, halfway point of the second box, and I just uncovered another wheat cent, so it's going to make 7 for the box halfway through, which is great. This one is a 1955 out of Philly. Of course, not the GDO. Just opened roll 37, and I see the edge of the 8th wheat cent of the second box. I see the reverse of it right here. And this wheat cent's going to be a 1948 Denver, in pretty good shape for being from the 40s. Roll 44. I did just find another wheat cent, so now we are at 9, 1 away from getting 10 for the box. This one is just to last year, 1958 from Denver. Just opened roll 45, still not a double-digit wheat cents, but I just opened this roll. Saw this edge of a Canadian, I already looked at the date. We're going to have the oldest Canadian of the hunt by far. It's going to be a King George VI Canadian. I saw the date. It's 1944. World War II era, King George VI Canadian cent. Definitely don't see those every hunt. That is a super cool find. Just opened roll 48. We are going to get double-digit wheat cents to the second box, so double digits in both boxes. Definitely a good hunt. Just opened this roll, and I see the edge of wheat cent number 10 for the box right here. Does have a little bit of wood grain toning on it, and it is 1955 out of San Francisco. Definitely a date you don't see too often. Last roll of the hunt, and we have not gotten any album editions in this whole hunt, but in the last roll of the hunt, I just uncovered one. Hunting through the roll, it's corroded. That is a 1917 Denver. Looks like it was out of the ground, like it was a metal detecting find or something. Pretty decent detail, but with the corrosion, pretty much just in pretty circulated cull condition just because the corrosion. But of course, 1917 Denver. Do not have that in the album. 55 million minted, not a super rare date, but a teens with a mint mark. Definitely very hard to find in circulation. We just found one in the last roll of the hunt. That'll be going in the album. That is an amazing find to end off the hunt for sure. Let's go. Both penny boxes have been hunted, so let's go over the finds. We ended up with 6 1959s, 18 estimates, as well as 32 2009s. Foreigns, we only ended up with 9, which is a little lighter than I normally get. All of them were Canadian, including a couple of older ones. We did have the ender in the second box, which was a 1963 Younghead, and also a 1944 King George VI, which is definitely a super cool find as well. Miscellaneous find, we did get one 1960 small date, although it's a pretty nice one, and I think it could upgrade the album, which we'll see later when I do the album update. Now, let's go on to the wheat cents, which we did pretty well. We did 22 for the 2 boxes, 11 per box, so definitely a couple of solid boxes, both getting double-digit wheat cents. Highlights out of these, we did get a 55S, which is a harder date to get. I think this might only be the second or third of the series. Got this absolutely beautiful 1951 Denver. Definitely going to upgrade the album. Nice early 50s wheat cent for sure. Definitely have not gotten a nice wheat cent like that in a long time. Super happy to find that for sure. And we did get 2 pre-40s. A 1937 out of Philly with decent detail, although it does have some gunk and some corrosion on it. Don't need it for the album. Good to see one from the 30s. And, of course, what I think could be the best find of the hunt. Right out of the last roll, we got a 1917 Denver. Definitely going to be an album edition, which we'll do in the album update. But anyways, it's a 1917 Denver. Actually has really good detail for its age. It looks like it was probably in the ground for a while because of metal detecting find. But either way, has definitely good detail for its age. It's definitely super happy to find that. Lastly, for copper, we did break the copper record last episode. This episode is a lot different. Not very much copper in this episode, probably about 2/3 of the jar filled, so not a ton of copper, but the other finds definitely made up for it. Definitely had some solid finds in both boxes. So, now I'm going to go over all the finds and update the album, and I'll bring you back with an update of the album. Just finished updating the album. I'm happy to say we made the most progress we've made in quite a few episodes, which is pretty exciting. We ended up with 1 addition and 3 upgrades, which is definitely amazing progress this far into the series. The 1 addition, of course, that lucky find from the last roll, the 1917 Denver. Definitely looks like it's been in the ground and corroded, but still fills a spot in the album, so we'll definitely take that. Then 3 upgrades as well. We had 1 upgrade in the wheat cents, which shows that beautiful 1951 Denver we found. Definitely looks really good in the album. And the 2 other upgrades were on the memorial cents. We did upgrade that 1960D small date, like I mentioned. It was a pretty nice one. And also upgraded the 1973 Philly, just a nicer BU example. The other one had a little stain on it. This one looks a lot better. So 3 upgrades and 1 addition this far in the series is super exciting to see and gives me some hope for the future episodes. Hopefully we can get some more additions and upgrades for sure. Anyways, this was a super successful Penny Hunt and Fill series episode.